Hey there, Callum back again from Illuminate Digital. And pretty much the video that I wanted to make for you today was, you know, to give you more information on how to choose the right agency for you. Because clearly, this is an issue right now where 97% of business owners are making a major mistake. They just don't know, plain and simple, how to pick the right agency. They think, oh, do I need to go to references? Do I need case studies? Does that help with picking the right agency? You know, do I need to jump on a call with these references? Do I have to check to see if this agency has great experience in my niche? That kind of stuff. And obviously, it's causing so much failure in the industry, and it's tarnishing the industry because of how poor these agencies, the job that they're doing for you. So this video today, the purpose of it is to give you, the business owner, a much better real idea of how to pick the right agency, and as a result make the right decision. So now, the reason why I have this video by Ignite Visibility, and the reason it's got John Lincoln in it, the actual owner, is because I pretty much wanted to kind of put real spotlight on these big agencies and effectively show you exactly why the information that they're giving you as a business owner is plain and simply wrong. I mean, because again, if somebody has a big following just via social proof, you're more likely to follow them, right? But the problem is it's almost as if your mind just switches off and you immediately think, well, he's the authority because he's got so many followers. That automatically means he's telling me the truth, which in many ways just isn't true. Okay. Fact is very, very important. And again, clearly for 97% of business owners, it's not, the information that's being given to you just isn't right. And clearly it isn't working. So the first thing John mentions, you want to make sure that with the agency that you want to work with, you make sure you ask for references and you jump on the phone with them. But any high value agency, and yes, there's very few out there that really work with high value clients. These high value clients are very busy. I mean, they're extremely busy, and oftentimes they just don't have the time to get on the phone to deal with, the fear that the agency won't work for you. I mean, they just simply don't have the time to be able to do that. So, I mean, and what ends up happening is because you really badly want to speak to these references, a lot of the time you just end up harassing the client just simply because you just want to know the answer. So that's not really the most effective way of doing things. And not only that, but it's for this one key principle that you must understand right here is that in terms of whether it's Google AdWords, whether it's SEO or Facebook ads, but most notably Google AdWords and SEO, you have to understand that every business is still it must be treated differently. Therefore, if one business does extremely well with the agency, that doesn't mean that your business is going to do extremely well with the agency, because look at it this way. You can see as many references as you like, but what you don't see is the amount. For example, you could see 100 references, but then you don't get to see the 1,000+ clients who they work with, who they didn't get results for. I mean, so it's a 10% success ratio. And oftentimes, this is really what you're going to see. If an agency has a 10% success ratio, you're just going to be able to see the 10%. You never get to see the 90% that failed. Okay. And then oftentimes you end up losing your money over this, which is really not very good at all. It really isn't very good. And oftentimes, the businesses that are the 10% of the actual success of that agency is because they invest the most money with that agency in terms of budget. That's really it. So that advice there is just plain and simply not very good. And I'd be calling out John Lincoln here and telling him that the advice he is giving business owners is plain and simply wrong. So, and it's that simple. As every single business is different, you have to account for the fact that, you could get a different result, whether that's better or whether that's worse. And in order to incorporate that, a guarantee has to be offered, because when you offer a PayPal money back guarantee on PayPal, every single client, you immediately lose the risk of losing the money, because that way you can be like, okay, well, these are the case studies. Okay, this is the kind of potential that this agency has for me. But I also understand that these case studies, they may only be a 5% success rate or a 10% success rate of this agency. So if it doesn't work, I can still get my money back. That's the type of agency you want to look for. All right. There's no point in chasing around references because, if anything, oftentimes the actual business, the agency, is paying these people itself to actually endorse the agency. So that's a very, very, skewed way of getting, of actually getting, real data. Okay, and it plain and simply isn't work, because if this strategy did work, I mean, 97% of business owners wouldn't be frustrated with their results. They'd actually stick with their agency, especially when it comes to pay-per-click and search engine optimization. 100%. So that's just really important to understand, that look for the agencies that do the PayPal money back guarantee, because look, even if they don't end up being successful, at least you can get your freaking money back. That's what matters. And that way you're okay, because you can go and look for another agency. But what does happen is there's no point in going for an agency, looking through all these references and case studies, because I found that for one successful reference / one successful case study, they've had anywhere from 5 to 15 clients who they're dissatisfied with, who have been dissatisfied. So it's a very, very poor way of looking for success. Okay, just understand that point. Okay, and that's really all you need to understand, because once you've lost your money, you've lost your money. And that, however much you pay them, you could pay them $1,000, $1,500, anywhere up to $5,000 a month if you buy multiple packages, and then they don't get you any results, and then you lose that money, and then you're so skeptical of ever working with any agency ever again. Just look, you have to look for the PayPal guarantee, and very few agencies do that. And the reason they don't is because they have to put their money on the line, and they don't want to do that. They want the business owner to risk all the money and to risk everything. They don't want to risk anything. Okay, so you have to start looking out for these faults with these different agencies, because clearly it's not been successful for 97% of businesses so far. Okay, so that's why I'm calling John Lincoln out. I mean, he deserves to be called out. And just because in many ways you're the #1 agency, SEO agency in, California, that doesn't mean that you're the #1 in terms of getting results. That just means that you're the most popular. And as I'm sure everybody here understands, that the most popular doesn't mean the best. It's just like saying, okay, well, Coca-Cola is the most popular drink, but does that mean that it's the best? No, not even close. Not even close. So it's important to understand that fact and look for the agencies in many ways who are the best, the #1 in terms of return on investment actually provided. That's what you want to look for, not the most popular, the one that is #1, or at least, obtains extremely high return on investments every month, on top of which offer some form of money back guarantee on PayPal or some. Yeah, that's what you want to be looking for. Okay, because this is the way that you're going to minimize your overall risk when it comes to the future, and you're going to increase your overall chances of success. Okay, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully it was informative, and I'll talk soon. And until next time.